Meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety. Roll call. Here.
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of February 11th, February 18th, February 25th, and March 3rd. Did anybody have a chance to review those?
Actually, I did.
Good.
They appear to be in order for those four meetings,
So do you want to make a motion to approve them?
the dates of those four meetings.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Okay, we move down to correspondence item A, notice of quotes to supply hybrid signal equipment. This is a signal system that's going to be placed at some of our bike trail crossings, and it's the latest state-of-the-art system, and we're looking for proposals for the equipment. So do I have a motion approving the notice of quote? The bid opening date will be August 18th of 2016.
Motion to approve?
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do we have the Motel 6 on the agenda? Okay. Correspondence received from AT&T requesting permission to perform work at 217 William Street. This is a underground cable that they're going to bury in the parkway for about a half a block. Do you have a motion approving their digging request?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item C, we have a bid recommendation from First Group Engineering for the Van Buren Reconstruction Project, 175th to 174th. The recommendation of our consultant, First Group Engineering, is to award to Walsh and Kelly, who was the lowest bidder at $591,072.47. Do I have a motion approving that recommendation?
Motion to approve the recommendation?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next, we have a change order number 1 from United Consulting for the Northcott Avenue Lighting Project. Midwestern Electric is the contractor. It appears there's some additional sidewalk work that needs to be done. The change order is an increase of $747. Do I have a motion approving that change order?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item E, correspondence received from Chief of Police John Doty approving the block party at 167th and Huron, August 6th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The second annual Arts on the Avenue, Saturday, August 27th from noon to 8 p.m. The outdoor community event at New Salem Missionary Baptist Church, Sunday, August 14th from 10 a.m. to 3, and disposal authorizations. Do I have a motion to approve the chief's request?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Next, we have a public hearing on the blight elimination program. This is a program, the city received a grant for $615,000. There are several structures that they're going to demolish as part of the blight elimination program. We need to open the meeting up now. Would you like to state your name?
Yes, Rayanna Binder with Indiana Housing Community Development Authority. I'm the program director for the Blight Elimination Program.
Okay.
And the addresses at issue today in the public hearing are 4834 Ash Avenue, 1550 Atlas Street, 722 Conkey Drive, 10 Doty Street, 19 Doty Street, 4839 Elm Avenue, 6320 Harrison Avenue, 505 Highland Street, 1046 Kenwood Street, 1023 and 1025 Kenwood Street, that is a duplex, 970 Murray Street, 4723 Sheffield Street, 5643 Soul Avenue. There are 2 properties located there. We're talking about the property in the rear. 938 Wilcox Street and also 1125 Wilcox Street, and lastly 826 Willow Court. We are seeking approval of these properties for the blight elimination program, and the opportunity to have this public hearing today to see if any member of the public has any concerns about these specific properties potentially being included in the blight elimination program.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on the blight elimination program? Anyone in the audience? Anyone? Last chance.
There's this one address that was brought to 1125 Wilcox. That might be under an agreement or bought by Schaefer, Doug Schaefer, Region Renovations. That's one thing we just have to check out. I'm not too sure right now off the top of our heads, but
Yeah, there's some, we've had a property before.
so.
Okay.
I-
Here's Kevin.
Kevin, can you maybe help us on this issue? We're on the BEP program.
Thank you.
Properties.
That's why I'm here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've already had the list read, and the
Thank you.
young lady right behind you is representing the program.
Yes, she is. Director from the state. We actually were just having our BEP meeting in Chief of Staff's office. So, I'm not sure how far you've gone, but
We
have.
did open it to public comment, and no one's made a comment.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
We have
All right.
one concern on one property that the inspections department has brought to our attention, the 1125 Wilcox. They believe there might be a rehab agreement. on
Yeah,
this.
so just so everybody, so the board and I guess everybody in attendance knows, this list is gathered off of several different other lists, namely the demolition list, properties that inspectors have identified as potential acquisition for the BEP program. And because of the timing involved and the milestone dates that the state sets for us and the other program requirements, what we like to do is put them on the list in an abundance of caution because it takes about good, I mean, the notices for these were late June, June 28, 29, 30. You have to give, I think it's a 30-day at least notice before the hearing. So you're talking about like kind of a little bit of lead time. And with the milestone dates that we have, namely 8/31 and the end of the year, we would rather put them on the public hearing list so that that requirement is checked off from the state's perspective, than not put them on and then have to go ahead and have 5-week lead time. So there may be properties on here that will never be knocked on. We've probably had a public hearing on 100 to 150 properties, just so that we can make sure we have that requirement done, that there's been a notice, there's been a hearing, there's been an opportunity to speak to this body on the issue. So the fact that there may be a rehab agreement on one of these doesn't surprise me, but that means that at one time it was identified as property that may be demolition worthy. So if there is no public hearing, if there is nobody here to speak on these properties, we would request that the board accept the public notice, acknowledge that the notices were published correctly both in the newspaper and in City Hall, the courthouse, and the library, which they were, and your assistant Lynn can also verify that, because I know she helped us get that done. And so we would just request the board accept the notice and acknowledge that this hearing took place, and that's all we need, I believe, unless Ms. Bender has something else to.
Need a motion on that?
All right.
Okay, I'll
Do I
make,
have such a motion?
so moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Thank you.
And then this closes the public hearing. Now we'll move down to item G. We have a hearing on property located at 3840 179th Street. And this is Motel 6.
Yes, sir. I know, yes, Mr. Cook is here as well. The scaffolding, well, the support beams and scaffolding are being installed still at this time. We thought we would be at the point right now where we would be load testing already. Getting the equipment, them out there wasn't apparently as easy as I was led to believe it was. But I believe that I was out there yesterday afternoon. They had a lot, I shouldn't say a lot of the work done. They had a substantial portion of one side of the building done when I saw it. And I know they're going to work through today, at least. The load testing is set to start, I believe, on Tuesday. Obviously the structural engineer will be there. Mr. Cook will be there as well to monitor how that's done and that progress. But I think unless Mr. Cook has an issue with how the work's being done or anything, I think everything is moving along in an orderly fashion.
I'm happy.
I gotta tell you, I wish I could record that, because I would keep it forever.
It'll be on gohammond.tv.
Hey, one more time, Kurt, one more time, please. Actually, I think we should close the place down immediately. They have 150 feet of the shoring put up, they have about 800 to go.
Yeah, I think it's about
If
1,000.
we're lucky, we'll be doing testing on Tuesday. I did double check all the railings that they did remedial action on. There are about 10 areas of railings that are still pretty loose. And this is going to take another month for everything to go through. I would like you, Hassie's out there, to check all the railings,
Okay.
get them reinforced. So we're dealing on the failure issue on the balcony, we're dealing with the bad railings, we're dealing with tripping hazards, and they've done remedial action on all of them, so, yeah, I'm finally happy.
I'll walk that with Mr. Hassie and find those areas. As long as they're out there with their welders, you may as well get it done. I will do that today. Thank you very much. I don't know if there's any
Mr. Cook,
action.
do you recommend that we do another status hearing?
Absolutely, I wanna, go over the engineering reports and the load test reports for you. It's gonna be close whether or not those reports are ready for next Thursday. If they're not ready, there's no point in all of us being here. Would you agree?
I would agree, but I'll do whatever the board asks me to do. If they're ready, we can come back. If they're not, we can do it for the following Thursday.
Well, we can set it for, status next Thursday. If we're not ready, I'll just come here and say, we're not ready, we'll look for the following Thursday. But it'll be close.
And then you won't have to come in. Kurt will just come in and say, yeah, the stuff
I'd
is
rather they
ready.
spend their money on fixing the railings than instead of paying.
Well, that doesn't really work for me, but, no, thank you very much. That's great. I really appreciate it.
Motion.
Thank you.
Yeah, do we have a motion to set status for next week?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We'll move down to item H, rental registration hearing on property located at 1012 Myrtle. Daniel Garibay? I think that's what it is. Garibay.
The owner still has not contacted us about the inspection. 2 weeks ago, I believe he said he had some things to take care of, helping a friend move and whatnot. He would get a hold of me, let me know when, he could be there to do it. He has not done so yet. I would request if we could do a 2-week continuance to the 18th. At that point in time, if the owner has not set up the inspection, then we can move forward with the rental registration hearing and make a decision on that.
So do I have a motion to set status in 2 weeks?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Thank you.
Item I, agreement to rehabilitate property at 4729 Hickory.
She's reviewed it.
Yeah, Chris has already reviewed it and put it together. She recommends that we sign it.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to approve the rehab agreement for 4729 Hickory?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item J, correspondence received from Gary Gleason, Director of Public Works, regarding the request for residential parking only signs at 1749 Calumet. Gary said that that's a state highway and that property owner would have to request that through NDOT. And it looks like maybe he's already told them that. But if not, we need to respond.
Do we need any action on
So
this?
there's no action on that because it doesn't affect us. Item K, license agreement with CKNP Oil, 1849 Calumet for environmental monitoring. Chris hasn't had a chance to look at this, but this is pretty much a standardized one, so I think we can approve it subject to Chris's review. And Lynn just won't release it until Chris says it's okay. Do we have a motion approving it subject to the law department's review?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next, we have correspondence from John Vesmar for the Beatles Music Fest requesting the use of tables, garbage cans, barricades, fencing, sandbags, chairs, tables, staging stables? What's he got, horses there? From Public Works and the Park Department. So do we have a motion referring this to those two departments to assist, which I think we've done every year?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next, we have correspondence received from the Whiting Lions Club requesting a street closure on the 1900 block of Atchison Avenue Thursday, August 18th from 4 to 9 for the Battle of 119th Street barbecue. This is an annual event, and we've approved it in the past. Do I have a motion approving it?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye. Item N, correspondence received from Trinity Baptist Church requesting use of 10 to 12 barricades to block their parking lot during blacktopping and seal coating their parking lot on Friday, August 5th. Do I have a motion referring that to Gary?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item O, correspondence received from Ms. Tracy Wilson requesting permission to place a barbecue grill on the street in front of 7532 Montana Avenue for the evening of August 5th, 2016 through the morning of August 17th for a family reunion. How big is this barbecue? Huh?
Yeah.
On the property.
For usage, 5-foot barbecue grill. Yeah.
So
Says evening of August 5th until the morning of August 7th.
is she requesting a closure of the street or just placing this in like a parking spot?
I think she's just requesting use of that space in front of the home.
Let's see, so it is probably a parking spot. Barbecue grill.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
What? Is that one of those big ones that they roll in on the back of a truck? Like the ones they have at the steak fry, the Mayor's Steak Fry every year?
Are we all invited?
I think we should approve it as long as it's in a parking spot. What do you think? It sounds like that's what she's gonna do. I don't know if it's 5 foot wide or 5 foot long.
I would imagine.
I don't know, what do you think?
I think it's fine.
Like giving us an awful lot of, yeah, you're the fire.
The fire says that.
Common sense,
I'll have to ask. Wanna make a motion?
Yeah, motion to approve the barbecue grill request for the
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item P, garage sale permits submitted for approval. We got a bunch of them.
did rain today. It just rained fast.
What's your pleasure?
All right, motion to approve the garage sale request.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Matters from other board members. I have two matters. I have a request from Comcast to install a new cable TV cable, 36 inches long and a directional bore. And this is going to be in north right-of-way of 179th Street. We have a motion approving that permit. Motion and a second. Question or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Then I have a late rental registration appeal hearing request. When do we want to schedule that? September 1st?
Motion to set for September 1st.
Motion and a second. 3022 South Pullman. South Pullman. 3022. Oh, wait. Oh, 4725 Henry. The person lives at 3022 South Pullman in Chicago. Sorry about that. I was reading it backwards. Motion and second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. It's set for September 1st. Any other matters from other board members? Any matters from department heads or their representatives?
Was there two requests from Comcast, one on 179th and one at,
You think there were two there? Let's see the Comcast.
there was one on North Court too, between State and Sibley.
Oh, it is a different one.
There were two in there,
Okay. I thought it was just two copies of the same one.
two different locations.
Let's do the other one too. They are going to install a cable on Morton Court between State and Sibley. We have a motion approving the Comcast dating request.
So moved.
Motion and second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any other matters from other department heads or their representatives?
Yes, we have a notice of violation, filed on 7340 Monroe, who the gentleman's here from that address. That's what, it's Clyde. The single-family home that's been converted into 3 units. Gentleman is cooperating and bringing it back to single-family home. Just like that, finding orders, signing the firm. So it's a matter of, we're going to deal with this in the future, subdivide the property in the future, and get it back into another apartment.
Well, we actually had, the treasurer cheating him. It seems that, but he's gonna be doing the work, but the city too. Yeah. Yeah, they can have stuff.
So do we need to take any action or just like a status report?
Is that what you have, your writing orders?
Yeah, we do a status, yeah, we can just do a status if we want.
Is your status report? I'm sorry.
Aye.
Ready to sign the report? Well, do a status report, I'm sorry.
Before the board?
3 weeks.
3?
If you want.
We'll set this for status on August 25th.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Thank you. Any other matters from other department heads or their representatives? Any new business? Any old business? Meeting's open to the public. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to step up to the microphone? If not, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.